All right, Doug, what can you tell us about quinoa?
So quinoa is a Mediterranean grain. You cook it 2 to 1, so it means for every 1 part of quinoa, you use 2 parts of water.
Very
So I got
cool.
a cup of quinoa.
Okay.
Pop it in a bowl.
Yep.
I just want to rinse a little bit of starch off. So then I have 2 cups of water.
Perfect. So what is the relation to quinoa and other things like barley or orzo or things like that? Because it seems very similar.
It is, but this is a toasted grain. It's very cheap, very nourishing, high in protein, and it's absolutely wonderful. And you can mix it with sweet stuff. You can mix it with mint, basil,
Very cool.
Cilantro, whatever you want, or you can just keep it plain. Bring it up to a boil, bring it down to a simmer, cover it with aluminum foil, keep it on low for about 10 minutes. You got perfectly fluffy quinoa.
While our quinoa is on the stove and cooking, we're moving on to the salmon now,
Yes.
okay? Okay.
So this is gonna be slow roasted salmon. So all you're gonna do is take a small little palette knife,
Okay.
and squeeze a little butter on there.
Sure.
Kind of get it on the bottom.
Sure.
Put a nice dollop, and then just spread it on out.
All right, sounds good.
There you go. At the same time, I'm gonna start to pull this out. You wanna just go ahead and smear it.
I'm smearing away.
All right, here, you
smearing.
do the fish. I'll do the butter. There we go.
Wow.
Just like a peanut butter and jelly
Hey,
sandwich.
but that's a professional smear.
There you go.
Okay.
All
That's how
right.
you
So
do
now
Okay.
you're gonna season with a little salt.
Okay, cool. That I can do.
There you go.
High five.
High five.
Oh yeah.
Now the fish is somewhat, we brought it down to temperature. We had it out for about 10 minutes just to let the temperature come down. So
Okay.
when we put it in the oven, it's not just such an intense heat.
Okay.
So now you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna repeat the process.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
gonna do the butter part. Okay. The thing about the butter is people see a lot of butter and they say, oh my gosh, a lot of butter. I'm not worrying about the fat. The fat will melt off. But what I want is the solids. The solids give the flavor. That's where the flavor of butter comes from.
Okay.
So I'm just
Very
gonna
interesting.
go like this. So don't worry. Most of this butter will be right in the bottom of the pan and you can just drain it off. All you're looking for is the flavor. All
Look
right.
at that. Look at that.
There
This
you
is
go. There you
arts.
go.
Me creating
All right,
arts.
I'm gonna hit it with a little
All
bit of
right.
chives. Okay. And we're just gonna go like this. A little bit of shallot.
Cool.
Okay. And how about you pop this in the oven?
All right.
So this oven is at 300 degrees.
Okay.
It's a little lower than what you would want to cook it at, but
Okay,
it's going to
cool.
cook so slowly, and it's only going to take about 6 to 7 minutes.
So we have the quinoa on the stove. The salmon is in the oven. It is time to cut some cabbage.
It is.
Does anyone else want to cut some cabbage?
I do. You're going a little bit fast.
No, I'm gonna give you this. No, I'm going to give you this part. So all you want to do is just break it down. Okay. Okay. And you just want to, just like that.
And
Now when you cut, you want to use a forward slice because you know how if you go like this, a knife is not going to cut you because the knife doesn't. It slices. It doesn't blunt cut. So you want to put it flat, and then you start slicing.
So then,
Sort of. You just want to kind of.
with all your digits intact. And what are we doing with the cabbage once it's blood-free and cut?
So what we're going to do is we got maple syrup
Okay.
and we got red wine vinegar.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be 2 parts maple syrup
Okay.
to 1 part vinegar.
Okay, cool.
So I like to measure things in parts instead of cups.
Yeah.
Not everybody has cups, and if you don't, you're like, oh, I can't do that recipe. If you just make it in parts, it makes it a lot easier.
It's simple. It's simple. Gina, you have successfully done it for sure.
thank you.
That is an
You
accomplishment.
want to put that right in there?
Yes.
Great. We got the cabbage on up to a boil.
Okay.
I want to do something called burnt cinnamon. It's a good thing for seasonality, even if it's in the summertime.
Okay, cool.
So all you do, take a lighter, torch, whatever you got,
Yep.
and you just burn it. And all of a sudden, you're gonna start to smell a candle, but it's really just the cinnamon. So,
And that like gives off flavor.
yeah. Oh, it gives off incredible flavor.
Wow.
And it smells like the
It smells
fall.
it smells just like a candle. It smells really good though. Like really good.
So now we're just gonna add that right to there.
Cool.
And then it has that aroma. And actually, when your guests come in, if it's still cooking, it's especially in a dorm room, it's super rad.
So while we have the cabbage going, what do you have next for us?
So we got some blistered tomatoes for the quinoa.
Okay, the quinoa.
Yes.
All right, I
So
almost
I'm gonna
forgot
ask
about
her
it.
to help me out.
Sure. Okay, cool. All right. Wow, quinoa.
What you want to do is get a little canola oil, not olive oil, because the olive oil will burn. So we just drizzle just literally half a teaspoon right on top. Give them a little shake, and I want you to put them into a really, really hot pan, basically the highest you can get it to. You don't want to add salt because the salt will pull the moisture out and therefore not let them blister, which is what you want. So go ahead and add them.
Just drop them in.
Just drop them in. Great. So right now, you're going to notice as soon as I hear that, they start to boil. The water starts to boil inside of the tomato, and the skin gets a blistered texture.
God, that looks
therefore, blistered
so
tomatoes.
weird.
So, as you turn it, they have little Popeye spots almost, and they actually have an amazing, amazing flavor. Once you get a desired amount, I usually let it go for about 45 seconds. Then I season it because it's already obtained the sear that I wanted, and now I can add the salt because there's not really much water to pull out. Just give it a couple more pulls.
Swish it around.
No, just a little swish. All right, I want you to hit it with a little pepper first, like 2 or 3 grinds. Great, awesome. Okay. Give it a little more turn. Now hit it with 2 pinches of salt.
Okay.
Okay. Great. One more. Great. Give it a little twisty. Okay. Just gonna add a little half a teaspoon more of canola oil.
Okay. Do I switch it around?
Just a little more
okay.
swish. And now add it to the plate. Great. Those are blistered tomatoes.
That is so cool.
That's it.
I cooked.
So we have come a long way, but there's still a ways to go. Next up, I think, is an ingredient to the quinoa that we haven't actually ever used on the show, and that would be cauliflower.
It's the cousin of broccoli.
It is a cousin of broccoli, yeah. So what about cauliflower appeals to you for this dish?
The amount of the savoriness, but
Okay.
still has a little sweetness when you do a certain technique.
Right.
It's easy. It's cheap.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's always in season.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
always around.
I
always
see it,
available.
but I never eat it. I
Right.
never eat it. It's one of
But-
those things that it doesn't occur.
Well, I'm going to show you a way to do it.
Okay. Caesar,
Yeah.
would you like to take the reins on this one?
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
So first thing I want to show you, Caesar, is how to hold a knife.
Okay.
Some people don't even know how to hold. Some people hold like this, that, weird ways. You want to take 3 fingers, right? Put them in, right there, then grip around. And that's how you hold a secure knife.
Got it.
Just like that. Awesome.
Wow.
I've never felt like that before.
So I'm going to hold this. Cut this in half and give you that piece. So basically, if this was a whole one, we would just go around just like this. As you can see, we would just be going around just like that, just like a skeleton. Sometimes you don't even need your knife. Sometimes you can just break it up first, and then we just give a little cut every now and then. You want to break it up to even pieces.
And this goes directly in the quinoa after you cook it up?
After we roast it, we're just going to put it right in the quinoa, fold it in, and it's going to be a nice earthiness, yet sweetness, yet if you don't like broccoli, just give it a try. Just give it a try. Doesn't really matter what size they are as long as they're consistent. Right now, as you're cutting, you should be having your pan warming up. So that's the key to a lot of things, especially in this type of kitchen. It's a residential kitchen, so it's not going to have all the powerfulness, that an industrial kitchen would have. So you want to preheat a lot. While you're cooking, you don't want to go over there and then turn it on and then be like, it's not strong enough, it's not powerful enough. You want to think ahead so you can actually have the power to cook things properly. And that's it for the prep, and then we're going to take it to the stove, roast it, salt, oil, done. All right, so now we got the cabbage. The sugar's starting to come down. I want to just be more gentle with it. So once you start to see the bubble, the sugar will start to get to a temperature that will actually create a syrup. And now you just want to watch it. I actually reserved a little bit of the syrup. It should be the consistency of loose cough syrup. And you're just going to reserve some of it for plating as a sauce. And once it's at a consistency that you feel is good and the flavor is right and it's balanced, we're just going to pull it off and reserve it for plating.
So we are at the final stages of the quinoa.
Yep.
Okay, so what do we do next?
So now we're going to add a little bit of mint. Now we're just going to add a few tomatoes. So just add it right in.
Cool. Everything we've been making so far is definitely something where, I've noticed the colors are really intense.
Yeah, super
They're
sharp.
all very,
Super sharp.
It's awesome. It's
Super
awesome.
sharp. So now
Super sharp.
going to add a little lemon.
Yeah.
You just put your fingers a little bit far apart,
To
but
catch
not
them.
big enough to let the seed go through.
Yep.
And you get it, and you can catch all the seed. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt. Okay. I want you to take that spoon and start to mix them all up.
Do you want to do that? Sure. Okay. Cool.
And while she's doing that, I'm going to add a little bit of cauliflower as well.
That is awesome.
Okay.
And
See the
that
colors, the
cauliflower
char.
looks really good.
It
Yeah.
came out well.
Yeah. Wow, look at that.
Okay. Super gentle cooking. All right. Just going to put it right over. All right.
Wow.
Okay. We got the crushed tomatoes in there. We got the cauliflower. Okay. Nothing difficult. You can change the plating on this any way you want. Okay, just flatten it out so it sits.
We're all like,
No, it's
I know.
because it's so pretty.
It is pretty. It's so vivid too. It's
It really is.
It's
That
amazing.
kind of white purple.
Okay.
Wow. Look at that.
So I'm just gonna have you guys plate it up however you like. You know, be creative.
I know.
Like, how do you come up with these? I don't know.
You alter what you learn. You know, you alter what you learn. You always want to do things in the restaurant, but then you know you don't get a chance to because it's someone else's food. So
Yeah.
The cabbage tastes like candy. It's amazing.
you taste that maple.
Yep. That maple is really wow.
Wow.
That's really sweet
That
too.
extract is really sweet.
Yep. Very good.
I would never think cabbage should be sweet.
So we're doing this. We're doing this every night, right, guys?
Hope
I think
so.
so.
Gonna be here for like 6 hours every day.
Yep.
Get dinner.
Maybe 10.
What better way to spend a Saturday?
Yeah, inexpensive too.
Yep.
Thank you so much for doing this. This is great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for doing it. It's a team effort. You know.
We just cut up things pretty badly, that's all.
Cauliflower tastes great. I wonder who cut them. Good.
That's the most important thing is we haven't cut ourselves.
You know what makes something else? The company. Right?
Oh.
Oh, stop it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. All right.
Alright.